Good morning, my dear students. I am happy to meet you again through this video class. I hope you will watch our classes. Today's topic is 12th standard biology, chapter number 9, applications of biotechnology. Today we are going to discuss about the stem cell therapy. I think in previous class you have completed about the gene therapy. There are two types of gene therapy. One is called somatic cell gene therapy, another one is called stem cell therapy. And today's topic is that we will discuss about the stem cell therapy. Stem cells are nothing but it is an undifferentiated mass of cells. Undifferentiated mass of cells. This is actually found in all tissues and organs of all multicellular organisms. If you take all tissues and organs, each and every cell has the potentiality to develop into another tissue or organ. So these cells, what we call this is stem cells. And these stem cells, even after undergoing continuous mitotic cell division, mitotic cell division generally takes place in the somatic cell during growth and development. So even after undergoing continuous mitotic cell division, these stem cells have the capacity to maintain the undifferentiated condition. That means undifferentiated in the sense they are not differentiating into special type of cells even after many mitotic cell division. So mitosis or mitotic cell division that occurs in the somatic cell, right, at the time of growth. And the stem cell therapy, actually the stem cell research has the great potentiality to revolutionize the modern medicine, to treat the different types of disease. It helps to treat the different types of diseases and also the damaged tissues and the organs. If any organ the tissues are getting damaged, this stem cell therapy is useful to treat the different types of diseases as well as the different the disability conditions. These stem cells have the cellular potency. Stem cells have cellular potency. Cellular potency is nothing but every cell has the capacity to develop the different types of or all different types of cells and tissues. So that means they are able to regenerate and able to produce the variety or different types of cells and tissues. That is called as the cellular potency. Able to multiply and differentiate it to different types of cells and tissues. That is an important characteristics or capacity of the stem cell. What we call this is a cellular potency. And these stem cells, they are derived from the three primary germ layers. They are called three primary germ layers. The primary three germ layers are ectoderm, it's called ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. These are called three primary germ layers. Generally the ecto, meso and endoderm, these three layers is formed during the embryonic development of all multicellular organisms. When the gametes are fused together to form zygote, and the zygote it undergoes continuous mitotic cell division. What we call this is a cleavage process. And after formation of this, many or more number of blastomeres that undergoing the morphogenetic changes and developing into a gastrula. So in gastrula, we can see the three germ layers called ectoderm, mesoderm and endoderm. So all the stem cells are derived from these three primary germ layers. And here the stem cells, they are differentiated into two different types. Stem cells are two types. The two types of stem cells are, one is the types of stem cells. The two types of stem cells are, one is the embryonic stem cells. One is embryonic stem cell. Another one is called adult or somatic stem cells. Adult or somatic stem cells. So first one is the embryonic stem cells. This embryonic stem cell derived from the cells called epiblast. Is derived from epiblast tissue, okay, of the blastocyst. Epiblast tissue of the blastocyst. So what is blastocyst? As I said earlier, when the zygote that produce more number of the cells called blastomeres, it's called blastomeres, and these blastomeres that get arranged to form an early embryo called blastula. It's called blastula. Blastula is a single layered embryo. In this blastula, there are two different types of layers formed during a developmental stage. The outermost layer is called epiblast and inner layer is called hypoblast. Inner layer is called hypoblast. When all the blastomeres are forming, only the single layered embryo is called blastula. But this again, when getting implanted in the uterine endometrium, is getting implanted in the uterus endometrium, they differentiated into outer epiblast and inner hypoblast. This hypoblast developing into endoderm and epiblast developing into ectoderm. Right? Here, from the inner mass of the epiblast cell, these are separated or isolated and that is used as a embryonic stem cells. So the characteristics of the embryonic stem cell is to produce or develop more than 200 different types of cells in our body. Because by collecting or taking a single cell from the embryo, that is mostly in the epiblast layer of a blastocyst, and from this epiblast we can produce or that is differentiated into more than 200 different types of cells and tissues in our body, or in human or in multicellular organisms. This embryonic stem cell, they have the capacity called pluripotency capacity. Pluripotency. That means it is the ability of the stem cell to develop into either this ectoderm, endoderm or mesodermal layer, but sometimes they may not produce the complete organism. That is called pluripotency state or pluripotent cells. So the embryonic stem cells have the capacity right, to develop the specific type of cells and tissues. And the embryonic stem cells have the capacity that is called multipotency state. Multipotency. Multi means many or different types. So this, embryonic stem cells, they are able to develop into different variety of, or there is more than two different kind of these cell types. And this embryonic stem cells, right, it helps to develop the new different types of these organs also, and this embryonic stem cells are immortal in nature. Immortal in nature. Immortal means, the meaning is no death. Generally, the cells can proliferate and develop and differentiate into different types only in the nutritive culture medium. Nutritive culture medium. But the embryonic stem cells, they are called immortal nature because they are able to develop, able to proliferate, able to differentiate into different types even in the sterile medium also. It is called as the sterile medium. Okay, so because of these characteristics, right? Because of these characteristics, the embryonic stem cells are called immortal. The stem cells and proliferate to form the different types of cells. And when they are even growing in the sterile medium, again they are able to maintain the undifferentiated conditions or undifferentiated state. So this is characteristics of the embryonic stem cells. So there are two types of stem cell. Embryonic stem cell, another one is called adult or somatic stem cells. So these embryonic stem cells are developing from epiblast tissues of the blastocyst. The important characteristics, they have pluripotency state, they are able to develop into all three different types of this embryonic, the primary embryonic layers like ectoderm, mesoderm, endoderm, and they are able to differentiate into different types of cells. As I said earlier, more than 200 different types of cells and tissues. And in addition to that, they are immortal nature because they are able to develop, able to grow, able to differentiate in the sterile medium. And the second one, adult or somatic stem cells. These adult stem cell, or it is also called somatic stem cells. So this is actually found in all tissues and also organs of, right, these are adults and also children. Okay, these are found. Somatic stem cells are found in all the tissues and organs of both adults as well as children. These adult somatic cell, these are actually useful or responsible for or acting as a repairing system in multicellular organisms. So more or less this process like a wound healing process. Suppose the injury or wound occurs, right? At the place of injury or at the place of wound, any one of the pre-existing cell act as a stem cell, and that is undergoing development. That is a mitotic cell division, and they differentiated into different types of cells. And this adult or somatic stem cell, they are also multipotent in nature. Is also multipotent nature, and as said earlier, this also develop or differentiate into different types of cells as like as the embryonic stem cells. That is also in another characteristics of the somatic stem cells. But these somatic stem cell mainly playing a major role to repair, right, the damaged or diseased the organs and tissues. So it acts as a repair system of the body and also replenishing, or it is also called to renovate. Renovate in the sense that it helps to restore, replenishing, or it is also called restore the lost organ or lost tissues. Right? So this is another characteristics, and more number of adult or somatic stem cells are present in bone marrow. Bone marrow tissue or bone marrow contain more the stem cells called hematopoietic. Is called hematopoietic stem cells. So more number of stem cells that is present in bone marrow, what we call this as the hematopoietic stem cells. So this as said earlier, this is mainly useful to replenish or repair or restore the diseased organs and tissues. So they have the capacity to produce the different types of cells and tissues in multicellular organisms. It is another characteristics of the adult or somatic stem cells. These are uses. If you see the use of stem cells, uses of stem cells. In a modern medicine world, this stem cell therapy is highly useful because the stem cells can be collected either from the amniotic fluid or the cells can be collected from the umbilical cord. Right? At the time of birth. These cells can be stored for many years. The recent technologies are there, like cryopreservation technique. And if any organ is diseased or damaged in future, for example, if a liver is getting damaged, or kidney failure occurs, or there is some problem, right, in blood vessels or in some neuron, in this case, the stem cells collected from the amniotic fluid or umbilical cord that can be used in later period of time. So there are some advantages are there by using this stem cells collected from these two fluids. This actually reduces the organ transplantation process. Suppose any organ is damaged, right? The recipient person should wait for the suitable donor organ. Because the blood group, this checking is important, and this histocompatibility test should be done, or otherwise the tissue or organ may rejected in recipient body, right? And immune problem also may occur. Suppose if the different organs or tissues are transplanted to the recipient person, sometimes the organ may be rejected. The organ may be completely rejected. So the organ may die, right? And the decay. And also they produce some secondary infections. All kinds of this problem can be avoided. There is only one solution, that storing and using our own stem cell to avoid the future problem, right? So that is an important use. And all these are actually the tissue or cell based therapies can be treated by using the stem cell therapy, right? This is the advantage one in the recent medicine field. Second one, suppose if you produce more number of, if you produce the stem cell, okay, stem cells can be produced by the tissue culture technology, more number. These stem cells, right, are used to test, okay, used to test new drugs. Used to do new drugs. So suppose if you produce or if you prepare any kind of the pharmaceutical drugs in medicinal and in a pharmaceutical field, directly the medicine or directly the pharmaceutical drugs cannot be treated the patient. So instead, we can produce the different types of stem cells, and we can use the stem cells for testing the new pharmaceutical drugs. So these are some of the uses or advantages of the stem cell therapy. So in modern medical field, right, in future we can use our own tissue, own cell for treating the different kinds of diseases. That is an important advantage one. The next, stem cell bank. So stem cell bank. So the stem cell bank is almost like a blood bank, right? So this field is one of the emerging field nowadays, but not there is this kind of facilities not available in all hospitals, in all places. It is recently developing this technique that is nothing but collecting, preserving and reusing, okay, the stem cells to treat the different types of the diseases. So the stem cell can be collected and they can be preserved or stored in proper temperature. So whenever the particular tissue or organ is required, the stem cells can be used to produce the specific organ. To produce, but by using the stem cells, we cannot produce the complete organisms. So that is not actually allowed to produce the cloned organism. But the stem cells can be used to produce the specific organs or tissue to repair the diseased tissue or diseased organ. So that is the important one in the case of it's a new field that is evolved called the stem cell banking. As I said earlier, the stem cells are collected, right, from the amniotic fluid. From the amniotic fluid. So amniotic cell bank. Okay, it is called amniotic cell bank. Collected the stem cells are collected from the amniotic fluid. So what is amniotic fluid? So it is nothing but the fluid which is present around the developing embryo. So multicellular animals, especially in mammals, the embryo is developing inside the uterus, but the embryo is surrounded by 4 layers. The first layer is called amnion. Between the amnion and the embryo, the fluid is present called amniotic fluid. During the development of an embryo, right, the cells which are produced, what we call this as the blastomere cells. All the blastomere cells are not used for the formation of an embryo. So some blastomere cells are left in the amniotic fluid, right? And these cells have the capacity to produce a complete organism also. They have the capacity to produce a complete embryo also. But these blastomere cells can be collected, as I said earlier, and that can be preserved, and the cells can be used not for the producing an embryo, that can be used for the developing organ or tissues. So this we called amniotic cell bank. And second one, it is called cord blood bank. It is called cord blood bank. It is nothing but actually the mother's uterus. The embryo is developing in the uterus, we know that, and the mother's uterus, right, providing nutrients to the developing embryo, right, to the developing embryo, and oxygen, O2, food, transportation of CO2, and also the nitrogenous waste. Everything is happening through the umbilical cord. Right? So transportation of O2 and food to the developing embryo, and the CO2, nitrogenous waste produced in the embryo, these are actually transported back to the mother's uterus through umbilical cord. So here the umbilical cord also contains more number of the blastomere cells or the unused cells. These are also act like as stem cells. Right? So the stem cells collected from amniotic fluid, umbilical cord, amniotic layer, it is called as an amnion, and in addition to that, placenta. Placental tissue is also encircling and protecting an embryo. So these are the major sources of the stem cells. These stem cells are also a little bit developed one. As I said earlier, no, the epiblast cell and the hypoblast cell, these actually developing stage cells. that is actually that can be collected, that is used as an embryonic stem cell. But the remaining stem cells that is actually collected from the placenta, umbilical cord, amniotic fluid, and amnion membrane. It also contain these stem cells. These can be collected and stored, right? And in low frozen state, right? These cells can be preserved for many years. So when any organs or tissues are getting damaged, and we can specifically produce these organ, and these are the major sources of the stem cells, right? Both qualitatively and also, quality in the sense good quality cells, as well as more quantity of stem cells can be collected and stored. These are the the cells of the one person. Cells of the one person. So in future, as said earlier, if any organ or tissue is getting damaged, there is no rejection of tissue or rejection of organ in the case of recipient person, and all types of the diseases can be easily treated by using these stem cells. Okay, next, based on the capability of the stem cells, these are differentiated into 5 types. One is called totipotency. Toti means total. Okay, total potency. So this is nothing but some of the stem cells have the ability to produce and also multiply, differentiate into all different types of cells and tissues, and also they have the ability to produce the cells and tissues of an organisms. That means if you take a human being, we have different organ systems. Some stem cells, they have the capacity to produce all the organ systems very well. So this kind of stem cells are called this totipotency capacity. So it is nothing but ability of some type of stem cells have the capacity to differentiate into all types of cells and tissues as well as organs to produce all organ system of an organism. That is called totipotency capacity. And another one that is called as the pluripotency. Pluripotency state. In this, some type of the stem cells have the ability, capacity to develop any of the 3 germ layers. The germ layers already explained. These are nothing but ecto, endo, as well as the mesoderm. Sometimes some type of the stem cells, they may not produce all 3 different types of germinal layers, but they may produce any 1 or 2 of these 3 germinal layers. So that in this case, the pluripotency case, the all organ systems will not develop, but only few organs, few tissues will develop in the case of pluripotency state. So stem cells have the totipotency capacity, the pluripotency capacity, and next one is the multipotency. In the case of multipotency, some stem cells have the ability or capacity to develop into different types of cells and tissues, but they are related to one another. They are not totally different. For example, if you take, as I said earlier, the body cells and tissues are getting damaged, right? If one cell acts as a stem cell, and they may produce the muscle cell, okay, and they may produce the nerve cell, they may produce the blood vessels. These are different types. And nerve cells, muscles, all these are actually irrelevant, unrelated ones. But here in the case of multipotency, some these stem cells have the capacity to produce different cell type. Okay, different cell type, but they are related to one another. For example, the hematopoietic stem cells. Hematopoietic means nothing but blood forming stem cells. The hematopoietic stem cells, they may produce the blood cells like neutrophils, eosinophils, and basophils, monocytes. Like these are nothing but the blood cells. So all these are related to one another. So some, the stem cells have the capacity or ability to produce different types of cells, but all these are related to one another. For example, all these are belongs to WBC, right? So this capacity we call this as a multipotency. And next one is called oligopotency. It's called oligopotency. In the case of oligopotency, some stem cells have the capacity to produce only few types of the cells. Only not different types, not many types, only few types. For example, lymphocytes. Lymphocytes are this one type of WBC. This lymphocyte differentiate to produce only one type. That is, only two types. That is, one is a T lymphocyte. Another one is called B lymphocytes. But these lymphocyte cells, they have no capacity to produce RBC cell. And even in multipotency also, here neutrophil, eosinophil, basophil, these are WBC. But this multipotency stem cells not able to produce the RBC. So RBC forming stem cell is different, and WBC forming stem cell is different. So based on this, these are classified in different types. But oligopotency stem cells, they have the capacity to produce only few type of cells. So example, lymphocytes have the capacity to produce the T lymphocyte as well as the there is a B lymphocyte. And another one is called unipotency. So unipotency is nothing but some kind of the stem cells have the capacity to produce only one type of cells. They do not have the capacity to produce the other types. So based on how many types of cells are produced or how many types of tissues are produced, the stem cells are classified into 5 different types. So one is called totipotency stem cells. They have the capacity to produce all types of tissues and organs, so complete organisms can be developed or produced. But in the case of pluripotency capacity, they can produce only any one of these 3 germinal layers, but not complete organisms. Multipotency capacity, different types of cells are produced, but all these are related to one another. In the case of oligopotency, only few types of cells are produced, but in the case of unipotency, that is only one type of cells will be developed or produced. So today's topic, right? In this topic, we discussed about the stem cell therapy. As I said earlier, stem cells is going to revolutionize the modern medicine because that is useful to treat the different types of the diseases, and also that helps to repair, helps to treat the different types of the the diseases as well as the damaged organs and tissues. So my dear students, you watch this video carefully, and we will see the next topic in next class. Thank you.